From shallow water reefs to the mysterious deep, OceanX is on a mission to explore the ocean and bring it back to the world. Let's take a look at some of the biggest animals in the sea with our favorite megafauna stories.
The thing which really excites me about Raja Ampat is the fact that it's still full of mystery.
It's still unknown where mantas go to give birth. It's never been documented in the wild. The main reason we're doing this is to be able to protect them.
We have a baby manta spotted in the far northwestern lagoon. Now we've got the helicopter up there trying to keep eyes on it.
Yeah, we got a manta right up here on the surface, a baby. See him? Yeah.
Okay, right in front of us.
As soon as I've got in the water, I'm realizing that this manta is really curious and quite happy to continue feeding around us, barrel rolling right in front of us. You're just blown away by this incredible little baby manta. My heart was definitely beating a little bit, hoping that we could actually manage to get this tag in. Awesome. Woohoo! So happy right now.
The Red Sea encompasses something in the range of 4,000 dogongs, but they are difficult to find, difficult to photograph. It's not like dolphins that jumps in front of the boat and just plays with you. They are very shy. They are mysterious, and with all these legends and stories told from the past, these kind of magical animals. Usually you don't develop legends for something that you know very well. Because legend is imagination, and imagination fills the gaps of knowledge. That makes me attracted to this mysterious animal. But I worked in the dugong and the conservation of dugongs long time before my first sighting of the dugong. It's very, very emotional feeling when I saw them for the first time indeed. If you want to enjoy the beauty of the sea, you need to pretend that you are a marine creature. When the other creatures accept you as a friend, this is when you see everything natural. So the more that you blend within this group, the more that you can see things as normal as they are. It's quite a music. Especially when there is some waves and some currents indeed. I mean, just this kind of a music blending with the feelings. You should think and behave like a dugong to understand dugongs so that you can find them. Dugongs are not easy to find. You need first to understand what dugongs looks for. Look into the seagrass in the eyes of dugongs. There are a lot of decisions that the dugongs make while grazing. They look for the best of seagrass. Now, they are very selective if they have the chance to be selective. How to maximize my energy intake by grazing the best of the seagrass? Or should I graze it one time and leave to another meadow so that I don't overgraze this meadow and keep it for the future? When I looked at the seagrass, it's a very simple plant that grows on the seabed. When I looked at the dogong, it's a very simple animal just grazing the seagrass. But when I look, the interactions between these two, how dogongs graze the seagrass and how the seagrass will respond. People think it's very simple, but it's much more than that indeed. There is increasing pressure put on the dogongs and on their habitat, and this is alarming. But I am hopeful, because when people get in love with the dogongs, they will definitely understand the importance of protecting and conserving their feeding grounds and habitats. I am hopeful indeed for conservation.
Fernando de Noronha is a volcanic island, and here we can find huge population of spinner dolphins all year round.
Look. Oh my gosh. They are already here. This is really beautiful.
This is a unique place where we can reach these species for long-term studies. We can approach with the zodiac, we can take pictures of their dorsal fin and identify individuals. We can get much more information when compared to land-based observations. We saw males and females mating, calves interacting with their mothers. We saw many different behaviors in the middle of a group of 200 individuals. With hydrophones, we can study dolphins through sound emissions. It's a brand new area of investigation.
Here we have the spectrogram, then I will play for you.
All right. We analyze two sound emissions that dolphins display. The whistles that serves for communication among individuals, and the echolocation that they use to know where the coast is, where food can be found.
So we have boats operating in the area and also dolphins in the surrounding area.
Yes, the noises can change the behavior.
The hydrophones can also detect noise from boat traffic, and we can compare when those boats were there, if they changed their sound emissions, to better understand how the traffic of boats can affect the health of dolphins. When we collect information about the dwellers of the ocean and we share, this is conservation. So everything that Alusha is doing here will be very important in protecting this area. And for someone that started with many obstacles, this is a completely unforgettable experience.
I'm Lindsay Tanabi, and I'm a PhD student at KAUST in Saudi Arabia, where I study the nesting ecology of sea turtles. Always grown up near the sea, and during my childhood in Hawaii, there are actually a lot of turtles that bask on the beaches, so you could see them even if you weren't swimming, which first sparked my interest, but I didn't know I wanted to be a marine biologist until after college. And it wasn't until things fell into place that I realized that I wanted to study turtles, and that was mainly because they were so understudied in this region. And I thought that if I could build a knowledge base, then I could help with their conservation and have more of an impact. 63. So it's a two-part system. One part is a hardener and one part is just a normal epoxy. And once they mix together, that's when all the action happens and they start to harden. We're hoping that will harden within a few hours. That way we can send this guy back into the sea. No harm done. All animals have a really important role in the food web, and if one animal is completely lost, it can have a pretty big impact on everything else. Sea turtles, some people consider them a keystone species, so if you remove them, they will reduce the amount of algae grazing, and algae is a really important competitor to coral reefs. So if this algae gets out of hand, it could actually outcompete the coral, and we obviously need coral for a healthy ecosystem and to sustain all the fish and all of the other marine life that lives in these really important ecosystems. So every time the sea turtle goes to the surface and the antenna from the tag goes above the water, it sends a satellite signal to my computer and I can actually see where they are. I checked today and the last ping that was sent out from the tag was today. And interestingly, both sea turtles are almost exactly where I left them. So they have been moving around a little bit, but most of them are staying pretty resident to these foraging sites. Those nostrils are out. I was really lucky to be able to have the first hawksbills tagged in the Red Sea, and we tagged 2 turtles. One was a male, and that was the first male tagged in the Red Sea, and then the other one was a subadult, and those are some really important firsts for this region. And we hope that finding their migration routes or finding out what habitats they're using can kind of give us a little bit of insight on the important areas to protect in the Red Sea.